Matt was a junior at Central High School. He was smart, taking advanced classes. He was athletic, playing on the football and baseball teams. However, he was very shy and didn't do well with the girls. He looked at them longingly, but didn't communicate with them well enough to get any dates. In particular, his eyes were on one girl named Tori. She was also smart and athletic, but she was also strikingly beautiful. She was well developed for her age, and he was in awe of her. He hoped she would notice him, but of course it never happened. He tried to talk to her a few times, but he always ended up with his foot in his mouth, making a fool of himself in front of her. He tried to impress her, but it did nothing to help. For Valentine's Day, the school had a thing where you could send a chocolate bunny to your honey along with a note. He sent one to her with a short note, but she didn't even acknowledge it. One day, he decided to write her a real love note. He stayed up all night, wrote 10 drafts before coming up with what he wanted, and put it into the mail. He found her address from the internet, and had driven by her house many times with his car, hoping to catch a glimpse. He recognized her car, a teal Saturn coupe, so he knew it was the right house. And one day, his heart leapt when he could see her sitting in the living room. He had never been inside the house, but he felt as if he knew it. His note to her read, "Dearest Tori, I have tried so many times and in so many ways to tell you how I feel. I am in love with you, and would do anything for you, because you are everything to me. Please don't be scared. I want you to understand that what I feel for you is a pure love. It is not because I desire you. It is because of who you are. I love you with all my heart, and I want nothing other than to be with you. I just want to be with you. I want to be close to you. I know you are the one. I know we are the same inside. And I know that once you get to know me, you will love me as I do you. Matt." He felt a head rush as he dropped it into the mailbox. He was nervous for the next few days, waiting for her to come to him. He couldn't remember, did he put his phone number in the note? Oh well, she was smart. She'd find him. Or she would talk to him at school. That would be so awesome. He fell asleep with a smile, just waiting for her to contact him. Tori said nothing to him, so Matt felt frustrated. He wrote a second, more extreme note to get her attention. To him, it was a declaration of love, but to an outside observer, it almost would have sounded like "love me," or "I want to die." The note scared Tori, and she knew she had to do something. For her part, she already had a steady boyfriend who she loved. Matt seemed like a sweet kid, but he was awkward, shy, and not quite what she was looking for. She had no ill will against him, but this latest note was a bit too much. She could have gone to the school principal, but she didn't want to get him in trouble. So she devised a different plan. It was Friday night, and Matt was alone again at home. He had his stereo on loud, listening to the latest CD. Somehow, music groups always found a way to make something that parents hated, but the kids loved. So he sat alone in his room, listening to the music pulsate, while reading a book. There was a knock on his door. Probably his parents complaining again that it was too loud. He reluctantly opened the door. It was his father. "Matt, there's a girl on the phone for you," he said to Matt's amazement. Matt ran to turn the music off, and take the phone from his dad. Of course, he shut the door after saying, "Thanks, Dad." Hello," he said nervously. He didn't get calls from girls very often. Well, actually, never. "Hi, Matt," said the voice on the phone, which he immediately recognized as Tori. Tori was calling him. For real. Tori, was all he could say. "Yes, Matt, it's me." "How are you?" she said. Uh, okay, I guess, he said, his voice cracking. It's okay, Matt. I can tell you're nervous. Just listen. My folks are out of town this weekend, so I have the whole house to myself. Why don't you come over tonight so we can talk? Do you know where my place is at? I'll be right there, he said, hanging up on her. He was so excited. He didn't even think to brush his hair, clean up, or anything. He just flew downstairs, grabbed the car keys, and took off for Tori's house. Matt had never been so nervous in his life. He was sweating. His heart was racing. He felt weak in the knees. He knocked on her door, feeling like his arm weighed 2,000 pounds. It seemed to take hours, but it was in fact only 30 seconds before Tori opened the door and waved him in. She was wearing a knee-length green plaid skirt and a white blouse. Her bra was clearly visible under the blouse, and his eyes stuck on her breasts. He had often thought they were the best ones in the whole school. Matt, up here, she said, getting him to look into her eyes. She invited him to sit down on the couch, which he did. Listen, Matt, we need to talk, she began. I've read your letters. I know you feel very attracted to me, but you know I'm already seeing someone else, right? You are a very sweet boy, and I like you, but I already have someone, she said. But I love you, he blurted out. You tell me that in your notes, but if you truly loved me, you would respect my wishes. I would do anything for you. I'd kill myself if you told me to, he said. He was almost crying. Matt, please don't cry. And don't go killing yourself on my account. Just because I don't love you doesn't mean it's the end of the world, she said cheerfully. It does for me, moped Matt. Tori realized that talking to Matt was not going to get him over his fixation. She had hoped that the direct approach would work, but he was just too obsessed. She had another idea, which she was going to have to resort to now. It would show him that he in fact wouldn't do anything she asked. She would find his breaking point. Matt, you say you'd do anything for me? Anything, he said. Just tell me. And you would not protest? No. I would do anything for you. You say that you have a pure love, and you don't desire me? I mean, you're so attractive, but that isn't why I love you. I have a way to find out if that's true. We'll see if you really do love me, or if you just desire me. We can see if you do anything for me, and if you're being truthful. But I am. Please, let me prove it. Okay, I will. Let's go up to my bedroom. On the way up the stairs, Matt decided that he would remain strong. If she stood naked before him, he would avert his eyes. If she asked him to make love to her, he would say his body wants to, but he would not, because he cared about her so much. He was not in any way expecting what she asked him to do, however. Okay, Matt, you say you love me, but you don't desire me. You say you would do anything I ask of you, without protest, she said again. Yes, he replied. He was determined to prove it to her. Okay. You can start by taking off all of your clothes. But I'm not here to have sex with you, he said. That's not what I... Are you going to argue with me, or obey me? She asked. Sorry, he said, beginning to undo his belt buckle. It was only 30 seconds before he was naked. He blushed, and used his hands to cover between his legs. His mind may have said one thing, but his body showed that he was clearly turned on by Tori. He held his breath, wondering what she was going to do to him now. He never had sex before. He would have come from just a small touch in the right place. His mind raced with the possibilities, but he almost passed out when she finally quit staring at him and finally did something. She handed him a pair of her panties. "Put them on," she said. He only hesitated for a moment. Next she pulled out one of her bras. "And put this on too," she said, handing it to him. Matt's hand trembled from barely touching hers as she passed the bra to him. I, he said. "Oh well, I didn't think you'd really do anything for me," she said, reaching out for him to hand it back. "No," he said. "I didn't mean to, I mean, how do you put one on?" She laughed and helped him get into the bra. She had worn a bra since her first signs of her breast swelling. Booblets, she called them. She remembered being so proud to wear a training bra. It had meant that she was a big girl, and it made her feel so grown up. Wearing one had become automatic and almost a chore. She had forgotten how clumsy she had been at first, learning how to fasten the clasps in back. "I do this so often, I forgot how hard it was the first time," she said, adjusting the shoulder straps to their full extension. "There, Allison, it's all set." "Who's Allison?" asked Matt. "Why, silly, you are," replied Tori gleefully. "Me?" asked Matt. "Yes. You're my girlfriend Allison now. Now tell me who you are." "I'm Allison, your girlfriend," said Matt uncertainly. What in the world was she doing to him? "Well, Allison, your breasts look a little small. You had better use these falsies to fill out your bra until your boobs grow out." She stuffed them in, filling up the B cups to their capacity. Matt looked at himself in the mirror and blushed again. He looked silly wearing a bra and panties. He was a boy in girls' clothes. And he was still very sexually aroused. He felt humiliated. But if that is what Tori wanted, then it was what he wanted. "I am Allison. I am Allison," he thought to himself, trying to convince his mind that he was a girl. He was determined to become what she wanted him to be. "You know, Allison, you look silly with that hair on your legs. Why don't you shave it off?" "Sure thing, Tori. Here, I have a wet/dry shaver. This will only take a minute." Matt's hair was lighter in color, and it wasn't too thick on his legs yet, so indeed, minutes later, his legs were hairless. Tori rubbed some sort of cream on them to soothe the razor burn from the electric shaver. He almost came in his pants from being touched by her. "That's better," she said, handing Matt a pair of pantyhose. Matt pulled them on, but caused a run, because he didn't know how to put them on properly. Tori had him take them off, pulled out a new pair, and showed him how to roll them up so that they don't get overly stretched when going on. This time, they made it on without incident. "I just hate it when I get a run in my hose, Allison. Don't you?" "Oh yes, me too." "Sorry about that," replied Matt. "That's okay, babe, it happens to all us girls from time to time." Us girls. It sent a shiver up and down Matt's spine. Next, Tori pulled out a yellow floral dress and handed it to Allison, who accepted it and slipped it on. "I am Allison. I am a girl now," he thought. "Wow, Allison, you look lovely in that," she enthused. "Thanks, Tori, you have a great sense of style," Matt replied. Tori pulled out a pair of her mother's high-heeled shoes. Her mom had larger feet for a woman, so she hoped Matt would fit into them. It was tight, but they managed to get them on. He had to hold Tori's hand as he practiced walking in them. He teetered like a little girl on roller skates for the first time, but it wasn't long before I could stand up pretty well on his own. He had to take small, measured steps, just like a woman does, but he was getting the hang of it. "Use more swing in your hips, like this," said Tori, who led him out of her room and to the powder room down the hall. Matt entered the room, seeing the dizzying assortment of cosmetics, which Tori had laid out. She began expertly applying the makeup to his face. "You're a little clumsy today, Allison, so I'll put this on for you," she said. "Thanks," he replied. "Hold still," she demanded. He complied, as she worked the base coat into his skin. She plucked a few stray hairs from his eyebrows as well, causing a few yelps of pain. In 15 minutes, he was transformed. Looking into the mirror, he could not believe that he was seeing his own face. The lips looked full and pouty. The cheekbones seemed higher, the nose thinner. And his eyes. They had a perfect almond shape, with full lashes and eyebrows tapering down to a line. As he gasped, she worked some gel into his hair and teased it into a suitable feminine style. Just like Michelin in their match class. She chuckled to herself as she sprayed a nice floral perfume on him. "There, Allison, what do you think?" "Wow, you work wonders." "What about my nails?" "Oh yes, I forgot." "Give me your hand." Tori put on a layer of pink nail polish, then a second coat. After it dried, she did the tips in white. A clear coat completed the job. Allison now had beautiful, if short, nails. They walked down the hall back to Tori's room, where she pulled out her jewelry box. She put a gold necklace on him, 3 rings, clip-on earrings, and a bracelet. They looked in the mirror, and unless you knew better, you would think that they were both girls. Matt had been transformed into Allison. "I am Allison," he thought. "I am a girl. I am Allison." Matt was accepting his fate willingly, because Tori wanted it. In his mind, he was becoming her. "Allison, you're pretty," said Tori. "I'm jealous." "Not at all like you, Tori," replied Allison. "You look so beautiful, even in the morning, without makeup, after swim class. I need all the stuff, but you do it naturally. I wish I could be like you." "Aw, that's sweet," she said. "Come on, we've got a lot of stuff to do." Tori kept her teal-colored Saturn parked on the street. She and Allison got in and drove to the mall. They spent the $40 that Allison had brought, buying a purse and a compact for Allison. They walked around, browsing at the clothing stores, with Tori telling Allison what she would look good in. They both wished they had more money or a credit card, so that they could go on a real shopping spree. After a few hours, they drove back to Tori's house. "How did that feel, going out of the house like that?" she said. "What do you mean?" asked Allison. "I mean, wearing a dress, makeup, looking like a girl," she replied. "But I am a girl," said Allison. "I'm your girlfriend." "You really believe that?" asked Tori. "Yes. I am what you tell me I am." "Really? Then what did you think of that one guy with the spiky black hair? The one from the record store?" "Yeah, him." "I didn't like his outfit," said Allison. "He looked like a goth or a punk. But he was so cute." "Wasn't he just yummy?" asked Tori. "Yummy?" "Yes. And I'm sure that you'd love to go out with him, wouldn't you?" "But he's not my type," protested Allison. "I don't like rebels." "You've got to try one sometime, honey. Plus, it will get your folks teed off. They hate it when I bring a boy like that home." They went on discussing boys, relationships, and their parents for a while, until they started to get tired. It had been a long day. "Allison, why don't you take your makeup off and change into a nightgown? I have a spare one hanging in the bathroom. We can get a good night's sleep, then get up early for a full day tomorrow." Allison did as Tori asked, but kept her bra and panties on. Come into bed, darling. I won't bite, said Tori, who was waiting for her. Allison reluctantly got into Tori's bed. She would have preferred to sleep on the couch or something. But she wouldn't refuse a request from Tori. She fell asleep with Tori whispering into her ear, "You're a girl. You're a girl. You're a girl." Allison woke up in the morning and felt immediately that her panties were sticky. I must have come in my sleep, she thought. Tori, I have a problem. My panties. Yes, I know. You started your period last night, I think. We can wash them off. You had better use a pad when you put on a clean pair. Allison showered, shaving her armpits and her legs again, for good measure. She applied baby powder all over, because of the nice smell, then dressed up in the outfit that Tori had laid out for her. It consisted of a denim skirt and a white halter top. The bra she wore had thinner straps, but they still clearly showed. Tori assured her that it was in style to have your bra strap showing. Sandals completed the outfit. After a light breakfast, Tori helped Allison put on her makeup. You're going to have to learn how to do that for yourself, she said tauntingly. Why, when I have you, giggled Allison. Because, you're going to have to do this for the rest of your life, and I can't always do it for you, replied Tori. The rest of my life? Yes. You are Allison now, and forever. You are going to forget Matt, and forget that he ever existed. Can you handle that? She asked. Who's Matt? Said Allison. I can tell you're lying, you know who he is. But you need to forget him, because he is gone. You're a girl now, and you're going to be that way for the rest of your life. But... started Allison. No buts. Monday, you'll come into school dressed like you are now. Then you'll go home to your parents, and tell them that you are Allison now. You're going to ask them to get a doctor to prescribe female hormones for you, because you want to develop into a real woman. Allison knew that Tori was trying to push her to the breaking point. She was trying to get her to fall back into being Matt, so that she could have an excuse to send her away. She was not going to let that happen. So Allison, what do you say? Asked Tori. Cool, said Allison, eager to please. If Tori wanted her to become a real woman, she would do it. Anything to show her true love inside. Cool? We'll see. Follow me. They went into the kitchen, where Tori opened up the cabinet where the medicine was kept. These are my mom's estrogen pills. She takes them because she had a hysterectomy. And these are my birth control pills. I tell my folks that I take them because I get really bad periods, but really it's because I love having sex, but I don't want a baby just yet. Wow, I never knew that, said Allison. Don't spread it around. I've only told a few of my close girlfriends, like you. My lips are sealed, said Allison, enthusiastically. Don't seal them just yet. First, you need to take these, said Tori, giving Allison a handful of pills and a glass of water. She didn't believe that Allison would be willing to actually take them. This must be a week's worth of doses, said Allison. Yes, and your body is going to need at least that much. You have some catching up to do. Allison took a deep breath, then started to gulp the pills, 4 at a time. Tori couldn't believe Allison would really take them. She didn't believe that Matt had allowed her to do everything to him that she had so far. She had even given him a hand job while he slept, telling him that he was a girl. And he seemed to believe it. Perhaps she had been wrong about him. Perhaps he really did have a pure love for her. But there was also the fact that she liked him a lot better as Allison than she did as Matt. Now he was taking female sex hormones. What was that going to do to his system? She decided that if he really went through with it and showed up at school as Allison on Monday, then she would relent and go out with him. She went through the rest of the weekend with him, treating him as Allison. As for Allison, she was in heaven. She was able to spend so much time with her idol, Tori. She wanted to dress like her, walk like her, talk like her. She wanted to get to know her deeply, and she was able to do these things. It was the best weekend in her life. She never wanted it to end. On Sunday morning, she took another handful of Tori's mother's pills, without Tori's knowledge. She imagined that she could feel the effects on her body, but she knew it would be a long time before she would see any real changes. The girls went to a movie, hung out at the mall, took a long walk in the park, watched TV together, did a seance with candles and everything, played games, and just had a great time together. Sunday night came all too soon, and Tori's parents arrived. "Hello, Mother," said Tori, giving her a hug and a kiss. "Do you remember my friend Allison?" "No," she said, "but I think you talked about her once." "Isn't she in your art class?" "No, it's my gym class." "Oh, yes. Right. How do you do, Allison?" "It's nice to meet you, Mrs. Richards. Tori says so many nice things about you. You have a very lovely house here." "Why, thank you, Allison." "Tori, how come you never bring over nice girls like this one?" "If only she knew." "Oh, Mom, you're embarrassing me," she said, as she and Allison headed upstairs. "Frank, why don't we order some pizza for the girls?" asked Tori's mother, as he unloaded the bags. Allison slept over, then went to school, riding in Tori's Saturn. She had memorized Tori's license plate number, and had stared at the car so many times, wishing she could ride with her. Now it had come true. It was different than she had anticipated though. Allison had thought that it would be Tori as the girlfriend, not her. The teachers and classmates were startled that Matt had become Allison, and she was sent to the counselor's office for an interview. "Hello, Mrs. Lauer," said Allison. "Now, Matt." "It's Allison," she corrected. "Why did you come to school like this today?" "What do you mean?" "I mean, dressed up like a girl." "I am a girl. How am I supposed to dress?" "Like a boy," said Mrs. Lauer. "A boy? Why would I do that?" "The other girls would tease me." "Don't the boys tease you for dressing like a girl?" "Why should they?" "I am a girl. Now stop this. I am going to call your parents." "Please, go ahead." "I can't wait for them to know," enthused Allison. Mrs. Lauer called Matt's mother and explained the situation. She wanted to speak to her son on the phone. "Hi, Mom," said Allison. "Matt, what are you doing? Is this some sort of joke?" "Who's this Matt everyone keeps talking about?" said Allison. "I'm confused." "Damn right you're confused. They say you're wearing a skirt." "Yes, it's a pretty plaid which goes with my sweater. It's a cute outfit. You should see." "Matt, please. Why are you doing this? Do you want some help, son?" "I'm not your son, and I'm not Matt," said Allison, handing the phone back to Mrs. Lauer. "I'm sorry, Amanda. He seems to really think he's a girl. I'll get the psychologist to talk to him, then you can come pick him up." Tori waited 30 minutes for Allison to meet her at her car after class. She was worried. Allison wouldn't just leave her hanging. Perhaps she didn't care after all. Tori finally gave up and went home by herself. 2 weeks later, Tori received another letter. It read, "My dear friend Tori, first of all, I want to thank you for all you've done for me. The weekend we spent together was the best days of my whole life. You've opened up a new door for me and shown me the light. I've begun my life all over again, and I've never been so happy before. They had me see some psychologists for some reason, then they sent me to the transformation clinic where I am at now. I have to go through a 6-month transition period before they'll let me have my surgery to cure my body problem. Once I have the growths removed, they assure me I'll have a lovely female body. And it is all thanks to you. Once I return from here, I can't wait to see you and reciprocate the kindness which you have shown me. Your friend forever, Allison.